make sure it's working. Okay, this one's out of their voice channel, so I'm not talking to the entire area when I'm talking in this shit like a crazy man. But I wanted to I want to make a little video. I want to talk about the Montrezl Harrell Luka Doncic situation, and it's kind of hilarious to me why I murked this shit. There's people kind of like trying to make a big deal out of it, trying to draw it into like a. There's been this entire push this year to make like black racism a thing. And sorry, I was looking at my phone, and I'm not sure why that's the case. And it kind of got started by, I don't know, I guess it would be like Terry Crews and all these type of cats. So a black person actually came up with black racism. Ain't that a bitch? But you know, I don't think people well, like, words make a difference, you know, and then words plus actions, it makes even more of a difference. So when you have words plus actions, so let me give you an example. I'll make if I call you I'm thinking of a really non-aggressive word. If I call you a flower, flower is good enough? I guess if I call you a flower. Well, no, a flower can be matched to something. If you're a real fucking Neanderthal, then. Celery, how about that? If I say you a piece of celery, you'd be like, piece of celery? Like, what the fuck? What are you even talking about? Why are you calling me a piece of celery, dude? But if I grab a bat and I say, bitch, you a piece of celery, you'd be like, oh, this motherfucker got a bat, he calling me celery. Like, what? You'd be like, what the fuck does celery mean? It's gonna, my point is, it's gonna go on a reaction out of you. And every time I say celery after that, you'd be like, oh shit, what this motherfucker saying? Get a reaction out of you. And Montrezl Harrell calling him a white boy, pussy ass white boy. Oof, pussy ass white boys. He call him a pussy. It's the real disrespect here. Him calling him a pussy ass white boy. People saying the equivalence is saying if Luka would say pussy ass black boy. Now, as I tried my best to do in that previous example, there have been hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years of white people telling black men, call them boy, with a negative connotation. There is no history of the opposite. You can't make up history. You can't make up the actions that was behind that, if you get what I'm saying. Like the word nigga. If I call a white person, white dude, cut me off in traffic, I put the window down, nigger, it means nothing. What does that even mean? That means nothing. But the opposite is a fist fight because of the history behind it. I think that's false equivalency. I maybe have a very off term here, but you gotta be smarter than this. And again, just like the black racism, Jay Williams, who went to college, I don't know, I guess he didn't go to class in those motherfuckers. It's the one that came up with this genius thing. There's no equal without the history, especially without the history behind it. If we just said it straight to face, you call me celery, I call you celery, it'd be like, the fuck we calling each other celery for? And then you walk off. But if we both had two bats when we said it, if we both had two bats, then okay, then that's both of us can have the right moving forward to be like that. But if it's only you with the bat, and it's only ever been you with the bat, then you can burn in hell. You kiss my ass for something like that. It makes no sense. I'm trying to I can't even process this. Because Luka Doncic, first of all, he didn't even know what that means. He's from fucking Slovenia. There's no history of this. You're putting bad history on him. He's not even from here. Motherfucker come here for a better life, a different life, and we putting our history on this nigga. He barely speak English yet. 21, 22. That's how we know we poisoning everything going forward. Because motherfuckers just can't. Like it makes no sense. Black Lives Matter. They want equality. Well, we need to be. It's not a racist term. A white boy. What? There's no hit. Like it's so easy to understand. It's so easy to get, and it's so easy to not get bent out of shape about everything because everybody just wants to be victims. And I'm not sure why white people want to be victims. You know, and I don't even want to make this well, I hope it's a racial topic, but I don't want to make it a racial thing. But there's no history of the opposite, dude. Like you can't just like cracker's a perfect thing. I've heard people I think it's a hilarious term first of all, and every white person I know thinks this is a hilarious term. So I don't know anybody personally that, you know, doesn't think it's outright just funny, because all white people I know, they call it to each other. It's hilarious. But there are white people who are actually like trying to equivalent to the N-word. Like, no, son. You can't do that. You can't do that. Let me for about, let's say until it's 2020. I'm gonna give you a discount until 2220. It's a 200-year discount. Let me get some hoses and some shits and burn your houses down, calling y'all cracker, and burning houses down and blowing up churches and hanging people and killing kids, hanging kids, families, women's, castrate, all that shit for cracker at a 2. And after them 200, we're gonna treat you like shit a little bit more, but a little bit less obvious. You know, we still gonna have you laying in the street with a cop knee on your neck for 9 minutes on camera in front of a crowd, looking at the camera with a smile on his face in 2020. Looking at the camera, smiling like this is not. If that was a hidden video, I'd be like, okay, that's some sick ass shit. He's doing it in front of everybody's right there. That's what the lynching is. That's the most disgusting thing you ever gonna see. And it just so happens to only happen to one side. Oh man. It's people crazy, man. People are crazy. Legit out their minds, son. It's the wildest thing ever. I'm amazed every single year. Amazed every year. And this is not a discussion about anybody blaming anybody for anything. You know, oh, well, this happened. This is just history. This is what has happened. Other countries, they move on for this type of shit. Look at Germany. They moved on from this shit. We worse off than before. But damn, that worse off. Look at the shit that was going on in like the 60s, son. And think of what's going on for the 60s. Like, just the average restaurant. Think of right now, if a black dude walked in a restaurant with his wife and his kid, and every white person in there stood and just started spitting at him and throwing shit at him right there on the spot today. Think of how that looked. If you saw that in a restaurant, you'd be, if you with your old lady or kids, you would grab them immediately and get the fuck out of there. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, holy shit. And that shit happened all the time until like 50 years ago. Everybody knows somebody older than 50 years. If you know somebody 75 years ago, they mean they seen that shit real life. And whether they was a part of it, or whether they was disgusted by it, or whether they was a victim of it or wasn't, leave somebody. You can never get over nothing like that. How could you ever get over anything like that? Ever? How could you unsee that? We always talk about mental health, Trump. Like, how could you not be traumatized seeing it happen to people that look like you? I can't get a milk. I can't get a Sprite. Fuck. I can't get some fries. It's not like I'm coming there with a buffalo nickel. The 20 is the same. Can't get a burger. Cheeseburger, no tomato. There's no nigga pies in here. Think of that, dog. Like, you know, people, I know it's hard to personalize, you know, especially if you're, you know, white and non-white, whatever it is. But think about how every minority at this point in the last, let's say, 20 years, since 2000, has felt. So the black thing has always been there. That is America. And then other pieces start to fit in. Chinese, the Japanese, the Vietnamese, Korean, all that stuff start to fit in. Where everybody has their little moments of trauma. Ours has just been streaming along. So a lot of other minorities say, well, what about us? We just have a much longer story. That's why it's always there. It is America. To be quite honest with you, it is. That is. It's in its blood. So it's not nobody not feeling for what y'all going through. It's just what. It's life. It is life at this point. Not at this point. It's always been life. But think about, Middle Eastern people during the 2000s, and think about black people still feeling the way they feel, but they're people from the Middle East, they feel a certain way. Motherfuckers who've been in the ground here since before a lot of these white families have been here, but all of a sudden, just because they look like that, and some motherfuckers on TV look like them, it's automatically their fault. And it's a little sprinkle of all groups, but guess who the main group is? Okay, and then you got a little sprinkles of other ones. So if maybe a black lady or a black man, more likely a black man, that is gonna say something a little ignorant. But most times, if you're a minority, you know how I feel to be berated like that, just because of goddamn. Just because I'm black, shit. I just walked out the house, motherfucker. I'm just gonna get some eggs. I gotta hear this shit. Fuck, I just want some eggs and get back inside. It's Corona outside. So you got people who will not traumatize people because they've already been through that and they know how it feels. And then you gotta train yourself to not overreact to stuff like that. Think of how many years of mental training that I need to train myself to just accept abuse because that's just the way it is. That a bitch? That's the craziest thing ever. And that's not making excuses for anything, but holy shit. That gotta be a part of my life too, goddamn. I'm sure I'm not even 6 foot. I gotta worry about that. I'm bald. Very handsome. I gotta worry about other shit. Bills, lights, debt, student loans, PS5 coming. What kind of good games come out? Breaks on the car. And I gotta, all those can be fixed. But they're on the plate. And this motherfucker is the plate. You'll never be clear. It'll never be good. So, and all races have felt that. And it's just crazy. It's just the craziest stuff ever, man. But I just wanted to see if I can articulate that to in the most basic and logical way of my opinion, my point of view of that is. So maybe, if you were a person that say, oh, it is equivalent, yada yada, or maybe you still are. You just don't think it should be said at all. You still feel a way about it because how can I tell you not to feel a way about some shit, right? I just want to explain what I think is just what my opinion is, basically. So yeah, and okay, and I just knocked out another fucking boss too. Oh wait. So I'm gonna just try to do, I'm gonna just do YouTube videos and just mix it up with the game and throw a little video. I'll put my opinion out. We're gonna talk about some b-ball and some other shit. Let me get out this dungeon now. I'll finish up. Yeah, but to me it's just, to me it's common sense. But as the saying goes, common sense it's not common sense or whatever the fuck you say. Common sense is not common, something like that. I know what I'm saying. I know what I mean. Alright. Duck there. Yeah, dodge. Ooh, rolling thunder. Alright. Alright, y'all. Thank y'all for watching, man. Appreciate it.